up in the spot. Dudes mugging, hating bad, could it be my style? Or just my pretty boy swag? Can tell by my gear, I do nothing but pop tags. You need a receipt, cause your girl just got back.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is, did Fury prove he's the best heavyweight in the world last night? And I'm going to turn it over to a man who's spitting bars, it kind of looks like right now. And I'm going to go to you, Stretch, because I don't know what's going on with TVE right now.
Yeah. I would say so. I would definitely say so. I think Fury's definitely the man to beat. Like, I just think that, like, he's been on a streak, man. Like he's looking real dangerous. I know we gotta like see what unfolds with the whole Usyk situation if they have a chance to like fight for all the belts on the line, but I would say right now he's definitely the man to beat.
All right, TVE, you look like you're done spitting. Do you think that did Fury prove that he's the best heavyweight in the world last night?
I'm gonna say maybe. You know, AJ, he fought talented competitions, and I'm not gonna sit here and say AJ's like the best of the best. I'm gonna say AJ's still up there with these guys. Wilder's still up there with these guys. Usyk is making noise. I feel Fury has one more fight left to like be solidified. If Fury fights that one last fight, either it's Usyk, AJ, he is that guy. Even Dillian White, if he beats Dillian, he is that guy. Or Wallin, he is that guy. If he fights that next fight and shows that he's here to claim his stake.
Fury's already beaten Wallin, but
well, I know he's beating Wallin, but you know this is a rematch. The rematches. G, watch him out. Fury will prove he is that guy. I just feel this fight was not a fight. We didn't expect this type of outcome. We expected earlier outcome from what we saw last night, like a 2, 3, maybe 5 rounds earlier. If the fight would have finished 5 rounds earlier than it did, but someone's heart led it to this point, to the 11th round, to the deep waters. He swam. Wilder swam with the sharks last night, and you know, sharks can smell blood, but. At this point, Fury, is he the best heavyweight in the world? No, because there are heavyweights out here who are always hungry, who are always training, and it's only time will tell. 3 years ago, we were talking about undisputed between Deontay Wilder and AJ. Now we're talking about the undisputed between Usyk and Fury. So you know,
go ahead. Why you?
Then who is the best heavyweight right now in your eyes?
It's up in the air. It's up in the air. That's all I'm saying. I can't just say Fury is the best heavyweight when it's up in the air. It's all up in the air. I'm just being objective with my opinion. I'm not
you such an AJ fan, bro. I respect it, man. I respect it. You such an AJ fan.
I'm not an AJ fan, right? I'm not being an AJ fan. I'm just saying it's up in the air right now. Like, I did not expect Wilder to give me that performance last night. Well, I expected Fury to knock him out, but I didn't expect Fury to absorb that much punishment from Wilder.
So you're saying because Fury got dropped twice, that means he can't be the best heavyweight?
No, I'm saying that performance from Fury, it was a phenomenal. But I'm just saying there are phenomenal heavyweights, and I'm just waiting to see one more fight from Fury to see if he's really can claim his stake. And here he has it after one more fight. I'm not saying he's not the best. He's still. It's anyone's game right now. It's anyone's game right now. I can't pick a winner. It's like the NBA Finals. Can I make a comparison to the NBA Finals? It was the Suns and the Bucks. Everybody thought the Suns were gonna get it, but the Bucks came out of nowhere and surprised us. It's like it's anybody's game. Like that. It was the type of game where it was like, yo, these are new competitors. Who can win it? It's up in the air. Usyk can win it. Fury can win it. Fury beat AJ. No, Usyk beat AJ. AJ, I'm not gonna even bring AJ in the subject. It's between Usyk and Fury right now, and it's a very fun game right now. It's a very fun. You got similar styles, different heights, different sizes, but it's all up in the air right now. I can't give it all to Fury because Fury beat Wilder.
All right, Dom.
Yeah. Did Fury prove he's the best heavyweight in the world? Yes, he did. With that performance last night, he did. I think he is right now the best heavyweight in the world right now. The only undefeated heavyweight right now. Well, besides my man Alexander Usyk,
Some respect in his name, bruh.
who just came up from cruiserweight with a great victory over AJ. But pre Usyk, you know what I'm saying? The only thing that's up in the air right now is those other 3 belts. That's over there with AJ and Usyk. That's the only thing that's up in the air right now. I think the best heavyweight in the world right now has to be Tyson Fury. It has to. He's just showed after this performance from Deontay Wilder. If you have to go with you're only good after your last performance, right? He showed me a lot. Gotten off the deck, showed heart. We praised Wilder in this fight, but we can't forget to praise Tyson Fury also. We're talking about a guy who's been out of this sport, a guy who's dealt with a lot of mental issues and things like that to overcome. He was also had to face adversity in this fight. We know he's the better boxer and everything, but Deontay Wilder came in heavier, and he has that dynamite of a right hand, dropped Fury twice. Fury still got up, weathered the storm, and came back to stop Deontay Wilder. This is things that movies are made of. This is something that is unbelievable. This is great. I think Tyson Fury should get all the props in the world, and I think that he is right now, because there's still questions about all the other heavyweights. There's no questions about Tyson Fury. He's a fighting man. And to me, he's
Come up here, my boy.
Yeah. To me, he's the best heavyweight. He's number 1 right now.
All right, Conspiracy.
Yeah, I agree with Trillo on this one, man. He's number 1 right now, best heavyweight. And the reason why I say this is because I have to look at Tyson Fury in comparison to Usyk and Anthony Joshua, right? The skill set that he has, the IQ, the size, right? Like, I'm gonna be honest, like Usyk is, to me, is like, was it like big fish? Great big fish is gonna eat the great little fish. That's how I'm looking at it. Like, both of them got great skill sets, but Fury's just way bigger than him. You know what I mean? And the difference between a Fury and an AJ is Fury has the will to knock somebody out. AJ doesn't necessarily have that will. You get what I'm saying? And Fury just went up against a guy that's 100% willpower, and he mowed him down. So I don't even think like AJ could even compete with a Tyson Fury. And that's no disrespect to AJ. I actually like AJ, but I don't see AJ doing much. So now it's just how I'm looking at it is Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. Let me say his name right. And to me, I just feel like Fury, for one, they both had great victories, but I think Fury had a tougher victory because he went in with a liver dog than Usyk. And then when I think of, I'm just being honest, and then Usyk versus, like Fury versus Usyk, I honestly think Fury would take him out. So for me, Tyson Fury is number 1 on my list. Oh, go ahead, Ned.
I'm just saying, are you saying Usyk is Ukrainian too?
No, I didn't. What, are you?
I'm just saying, are you saying that? Or are you implying that?
What? Yo, are you not listening to what I'm saying?
You're saying Fury is the better fighter.
Yeah, but I'm not saying he's Ukrainian soup. When I say Ukrainian soup, it's like, yo, this dude is food. Like, he's gonna get bodied. I don't think Fury's just gonna run right through Usyk like that. But I think that Fury has the skill sets and just the physical attributes that's gonna be too hard for Usyk. So how I'm looking at is Fury's number 1, Usyk's number 2. And yeah, that's how I got it, man. You know what I mean? And so I would love to see them two fight, because then you can make an argument 1A, 1B, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm favoring Fury right now against Alexander Usyk, which I think that's a safe bet.
I understand everyone's position because right now in the heavyweight division, we have a scenario where it's like half a bracket only fighting one half of the bracket, and the other bracket, um, there's more variety, but still they haven't fought the other people on the other side of the bracket. So, of course, like when I say the people on the other side, you have like Andy Ruiz, Anthony Joshua, Dillian White, Alexander Povetkin, Joseph Parker, and Pulev. These guys are all linked by like 6 degrees of separation, and even been in a ring with Anthony Joshua at some point. So we kind of know the balance there at this particular point in time. Whereas Fury hasn't fought anyone on the other side of the bracket, and neither has Deontay Wilder. So it's kind of like just speculation as to say, oh, well, I think Deontay Wilder is a more live dog than Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua has the skills to just, I think, embarrass Deontay Wilder. And Deontay Wilder has the power to hurt and knock out Anthony Joshua. So it's up in the air, and that's what makes these fights interesting. But we don't know how it will play out because it hasn't happened yet. Fury and Wilder have fought each other 3 times. For me, there's a certain level of comfort that comes with that fight for Tyson Fury. I'm just being honest because, in my personal opinion, Fury won the first fight. He stopped Wilder in the second fight, and he flatlined Wilder in the third fight. So I believe that he beat Wilder 3 times. So the only risk in that really for me is that you getting bored and then getting clipped, which may have been what almost happened in Tyson Fury in the third fight. Whereas Josh was taking on different opponents, different challenges, and styles make fights. So when you keep taking on a different style, you're possibly increasing your chances of being beat. Whereas Fury was facing the same style over and over again. Although with Malik Scott, Wilder got more twos, inevitably he reverted back to the same old fighter that he was. So when you talk about who's number one in the heavyweight division, I believe Usyk is on the side of the bracket where there's been more variety, there's been greater matchups, and things have been more clearly defined, right? So it's for that reason I had Usyk at number one when he beat Anthony Joshua, because you beat Anthony Joshua, who's the man who beat the bigger names. He's the man who beat Joseph Parker, Dillian White, Pulev, Povetkin, Klitschko. The list goes on. And Tyson Fury was the guy who beat Deontay Wilder and Klitschko, but never defended his title until last night. And I think even Fury found out something last night. Defending is hard because you took the belt from Wilder and he was willing to die to get it back. Like, defending is hard. So I think in many ways Fury deserves credit for that, his first title defense. And I'm simply giving it to Fury today for this reason, because I believe it was proven last night. You know, you always hear that you're not a champion until you defend the title. And I think last night kind of showed why. Because even if you straight dominate a man to the point where his corner had to throw in a towel, that same guy came, not being champion, the challenger, and was willing to die to get that belt back. And it took everything Fury had to stop him. So when you're the champion, you're the target. When you're the champion, everyone's gunning for you. See, Wilder was a champion when Fury went in there the second time. So Fury trained his butt off gunning for Wilder. And the roles reversed. And you saw Wilder was a better version of himself. So I think Usyk has to take Joshua out again to show, one, that he is the true champ at the heavyweight division, and Fury's done that to Wilder twice. And I think for Usyk, it's going to be a lot harder with Joshua the second time around, because much like we saw a better Wilder in the third fight, I think Usyk's going to see a better AJ. I also think Wilder proved that he's a lot better than people gave him credit for. Whatever you think about Wilder, he's hard, he hits hard, and he's not going to quit. You know, you're not Wilder's going to determine his own fate. Either he's going out or you're going out. You hear a lot of men say, I'll go out on my shield. Let me go. I heard Billy Joe Saunders say, I'm going to go out on my shield. But then I saw him quit on the stoop. You can make all these memes about Deontay Wilder you want, but that man went out trying to win. And it took everything Fury had. And I think some of what you heard Fury saying was frustration with the fact that Wilder didn't embrace him at the end of the fight. But deep down inside, Fury has to have so much respect for Wilder for pushing him to the brink. Fury brought out the best. I mean, Wilder brought out the best in Fury. Fury brought out the best in Wilder too. So like he hasn't feel that way. So one, because Fury is the natural heavyweight who's naturally campaigned that heavyweight his entire career. Fury's the guy who knocked off the 10-year reigning champion Vladimir Klitschko, and he's the guy who knocked off the man who had the WBC belt in 10 title defenses, and he's the man who just defended his title last night. I'm now putting Fury over Alexander Usyk. Usyk has to defend. I got Joshua at 3, and originally in my top 5, I didn't have Deontay Wilder, but I have him in my top 5 now at number 4. And then I think number 5 is Andy Ruiz. Yeah. So I think Wilder proved he's legit. So you got to give Fury credit for that last night. So I think Fury proved he's number 1 heavyweight in the world.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
When things seem bleak, walk with me. To navigate these streets, walk with me.